Did you know that over 90% of self-made millionaires credit their success not just to hard work, but to their mindset? Now pause for a moment and ask yourself this. Is your inner world aligned with the abundance you wish to see in your outer world? What if the real key to wealth was spiritual, not financial? Welcome, dear friend. Today, we're not just talking about wealth, we're talking about a new relationship with it. Imagine waking up not in anxiety, but in a quiet confidence that life is supporting you. That's what happens when your spirit is aligned with abundance. In Buddhism, we often say, "What you dwell upon, you become." And in the modern world, we now see scientific studies confirming that mindset, our thoughts, beliefs, and emotions, plays a massive role in how wealth and opportunities flow to us. But here's the problem. Most of us are unknowingly tuned into lack. So today, we'll explore how to shift your inner frequency, let go of scarcity, and magnetize true prosperity from the inside out. Let's face it, most of us grew up hearing things like, "Money doesn't grow on trees," "Rich people are greedy," "Be content with what you have." While these phrases may seem harmless, they planted deep seeds in our subconscious that say, "Abundance isn't for me." In Buddhism, we understand the power of mental imprints, called samskaras. These are like grooves on a record, shaping how we think and behave, often without even realizing it. Let me share a story. A woman I once met, let's call her Anjali, had all the qualifications, talents, and determination you could ask for. But every time she got close to financial success, something would go wrong. A deal would fall through. She'd undersell herself. Or she'd say yes to work that drained her just because it was safe. When we sat down and meditated together, she realized something painful but liberating. As a child, she watched her parents argue about money constantly. Her young heart associated wealth with conflict, and subconsciously she feared it. This is more common than you think. Society teaches us that desiring wealth is selfish, that being spiritual means being broke, but nothing could be further from the truth. The Buddha never condemned prosperity. He condemned attachment. And there's a big difference. You can be abundant and unattached. In fact, that's the sweet spot. So, how exactly do we align our spirit with abundance? In Buddhism, we understand that the outer world is merely a reflection of the inner. When our thoughts, intentions, and energy are stuck in patterns of lack, worry, or unworthiness, we unknowingly block the natural flow of prosperity into our lives. But here's the beautiful part. Once we begin to shift our inner landscape, even gently, the outer begins to respond like a mirror wiping itself clean. There's no rigid formula, no magic spell, and definitely no one-size-fits-all mantra for wealth. But what does work are simple, sincere practices that speak to both the heart and the subconscious mind. These practices aren't new. They've been around for thousands of years. Today, I want to share 3 time-tested methods, rooted in both spiritual tradition and modern understanding, that can help realign your spirit with abundance. Let's start with a practice that Buddhist monks, Olympic athletes, and even entrepreneurs have used with powerful results: visualization. In Tibetan Buddhism, practitioners visualize deities not because they're praying to them, but because they want to become them. Compassionate, fearless, wise. Visualization is a tool to shape the mind into a new version of the self. When you visualize yourself as abundant, you're doing the same. But here's the catch. You must feel it. Don't just think about wealth. Step into the feeling of being supported, free, generous. What does your face look like when you're not worried about bills? What kind of work would you do if money were no object? Who would you help if your cup was overflowing? Each morning, before the world gets noisy, close your eyes and picture yourself in that state. You might see yourself in a peaceful home, giving back to your community, traveling without stress, or simply waking up with a full heart. Visualize the details, the sounds, the temperature, the smells. Let your nervous system believe it's already happening. Because here's the neuroscience twist. Your brain doesn't distinguish vividly imagined experiences from real ones. And once your subconscious accepts this vision, your behaviors, decisions, and magnetism naturally begin to align. Now let's talk about the magnetism of gratitude. It might sound cliché, but from a Buddhist lens, gratitude is not just about saying thank you. It's about realizing moment by moment that you are already rich in breath, in awareness, in connection. When you feel lack, it's like standing under a waterfall with an umbrella. Life is offering you so much, but you're shielded by the idea that it's not enough. Gratitude is folding up that umbrella. Try ending each day by naming 3 things you're grateful for. Not big things. Start small. The way the sunlight touched your face this morning. The warm tea that calmed your nerves. A text from someone who thought of you. These micro moments of recognition begin to reshape your samskaras, those mental grooves that drive your perceptions. Over time, your mind begins to seek abundance instead of scarcity. And here's the beauty. When the mind dwells in fullness, it stops grabbing. It opens. And what's open naturally receives more. Lastly, we arrive at the power of mantras and affirmations. In Buddhism, chanting mantras isn't about asking the universe for favors. It's about tuning yourself to a higher frequency, like striking a bell until it hums with clarity. Affirmations do the same thing. They reprogram the inner dialogue. Because let's be honest, most of us walk around with silent scripts like, "I'm not good with money," or "I'll never have enough." And these quiet mantras shape our lives more than we know. Now imagine replacing them with, "I am a channel for divine abundance. Money flows to me with ease and purpose. I deserve to thrive and uplift others." At first, they might feel foreign. That's okay. You're not lying to yourself, you're watering new seeds. And just like bamboo, these seeds may grow invisibly for months, but then suddenly they shoot up, fast, strong, unshakable. Speak your affirmations aloud in the morning or whisper them during your meditation. Write them down and place them where you can see them. Over time, they will become your new inner truth. Each of these 3 practices, visualization, gratitude, and affirmations, are not about chasing wealth, but about receiving it with grace. They help peel away layers of fear, doubt, and inherited beliefs, so that your natural state, one of abundance, can shine through. Let your practice be gentle. Let it be joyful. And remember, abundance isn't something you force, it's something you align with. And once you do, it begins to flow in ways that are often unexpected, but always exactly what you need. Let me share a story that never fails to send a chill down my spine, one that beautifully illustrates the power of spiritual alignment with abundance. You probably know Jim Carrey as a wildly successful actor and comedian. But before the fame, before the red carpets and interviews, he was just another struggling artist in Los Angeles. He had no job security, little money, and was sleeping in his car on the outskirts of Hollywood. Yet amid that uncertainty, he did something extraordinary. He wrote himself a check for $10 million. In the memo, he wrote, "For acting services rendered." He dated it 5 years into the future and carried it in his wallet. Every day, he would drive to the hills, park his car, and visualize himself as a working actor, receiving that very check. He didn't just wish it, he felt it, lived it internally, long before the world caught up. And then, almost exactly 5 years later, he was offered $10 million for his role in Dumb and Dumber. Coincidence? Perhaps. But deeper than that, it's a lesson in resonance. He believed so fully in a future reality that he became a vibrational match for it. His mindset, emotions, and actions were aligned. This is the essence of spiritual abundance. The universe mirrors who you are, not just what you want. When you carry the energy of enoughness, opportunity begins to recognize you. You no longer chase abundance. It begins to orbit around you. Now, let's recap, gently. You don't need to chase abundance like a desperate bird looking for crumbs. You are the source. But to see that, your inner world must match the reality you seek. We discussed the silent beliefs that block abundance, how visualization, gratitude, and affirmations shift your inner state, a true story of transformation that shows how mindset becomes reality. You are not separate from abundance. You are a current in the great river of life. And when you flow with trust, joy, and clarity, wealth, both material and spiritual, finds its way to you. Have you ever experienced a moment where everything just flowed? Money, help, ideas, all at once? I'd love to hear your story in the comments. And if this resonated, watch our next video on the hidden energies blocking your manifestation. It goes even deeper into how energy, karma, and belief shape your reality. Until then, may you be peaceful, may you be prosperous, and may you always remember abundance begins within.